Month was supposed to signal a fresh start for the recovering U.S. economy. Businesses were supposed to reopen, workers supposed to return to office. Remember? Instead, America is calling out sick, and for good reason. Economists predict more than 5 million Americans could be stuck at home, isolating from COVID in the days ahead. The Omicron surge is already leaving many businesses short-staffed and causing major breakdowns in services nationwide. Take Johnson County, Kansas, for example. Paramedics there are working 80-hour weeks because hospitals are so overwhelmed. In New York City, officials are delaying trash and subway service. They just don't have enough workers. And at Phoenix International Airport, officials shut down 2 checkpoints at their busiest terminal because not enough TSA agents showed up to work. Everybody is sick, and the disruptions are widespread. Health experts say it could still be a few weeks before cases peak generally in the United States. Meantime, there's growing talk of a 4th dose in the works. Pfizer and Moderna reporting they're making progress on COVID boosters, specifically to target Omicron. Pfizer's shot could easily be ready as early as March. Here's CNBC's health and science correspondent, Meg Terrell.
As the world faces unprecedented numbers of COVID cases amid the Omicron surge, vaccine makers are forging ahead with Omicron-updated shots, should they be needed.
We are discussing with public health leaders around the world to decide what do we think is the best strategy for a potential booster for the fall of 2022. We believe it will contain Omicron mRNAs.
Moderna CEO Stéphane Bancel says boosters in the fall of 2022 may not only target Omicron, but potentially other strains as well. Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla says the company's already begun manufacturing some Omicron-targeted vaccine doses, just in case.
This vaccine will be ready in March. I don't know if we will need it. I don't know if and how it will be used, but we'll be ready.
The goal, he says, is much better protection, particularly against infections, because 3 doses of the current vaccines, he says, give reasonable protection against severe disease already. But Bourla notes most governments are increasingly focused on Pfizer's pill for COVID, Paxlovid. Supply is constrained now, but he says it'll grow exponentially through the course of the year, and that many governments are looking to stockpile it. With the pill and the ability to update vaccines, he says he's optimistic COVID can be controlled.
But we will have perfectly normal lives with just injection. We will do it maybe once a year. And the pill that in case we are sick will help us make it like a flu-like rather than a life-threatening disease.
Now, we also got some news today on another potential pill for COVID from Gilead. That company makes remdesivir, which is now commonly used in the hospital for COVID patients. That drug recently showed it can reduce the risk of hospitalization or death by almost 90% if it's given early in the course of the disease. But it has to be given through IV infusion over 3 days. The company's CEO told us today they're now starting trials of a tablet form. Shep?
Meg, Omicron-specific vaccines. March? I mean, aren't they saying we're going to peak with Omicron this month and maybe then we've got something we don't even know about?
Yeah, it may be too late for this current surge, particularly in the United States, but it's unclear what's to come later in the year. As you just suggested, there are still a lot of questions to be answered about which strains could be dominant later in the year and how long immunity from infection with Omicron lasts. So all of those answers will tell us more about what the future of this vaccine ends up looking like.
All right, Meg. Meg Terrell, thank you.